Chalo, let's start. Suppose that normally, na, when we talk about, do you have any doubts in previous classes, like any concepts from previous classes? Chalo to. So we talk about ERLs, right? One is ERLs, and then there is yes sir IRLs, right? So ERLs or IRLs may there are two different aspects, right? So for ERL, what is it? ERL is either swing highs or lows, right? And then comes time-based liquidities, right? There comes time-based liquidities, and if you break down all of these levels in लो टाइम फ्रेम्स, अगर हम ये सारी चीज़ें अगर लो टाइम फ्रेम में देखें और हायर टाइम फ्रेम में देखें ना, तो उसको हम एक तरीके से वी कैन ऑल्सो आइडेंटिफाई दोज एज कैंडल हाइज एंड कैंडल लोज. Alright, and for IRLs, which is internal range liquidities, there is what there comes fair value gaps. Fair value gaps में क्या 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 आता है? BC है, we have CB, right? We have inverse fair value gaps, and what else? We have order blocks. We have right, all of those things. These are a simple way to understand that what actually comprises the internal liquidities, right? And what actually comprise the external range liquidities. All right. So this is a very simple logic and the core logic in which we will be trading the markets. All right. So now let's understand a different. Oh, wait. Okay. Now ये तो हमें पता चल गया ना कि कैंडल हाइज कैंडल लोज क्या होता है, स्विंग हाइज एंड स्विंग लोज क्या होता है, टाइम बेस्ड लिक्विडिटीज आर व्हाट. टाइम बेस्ड लिक्विडिटीज में देयर आर डिफरेंट थिंग्स. सिंपल वे टू अंडरस्टैंड इज every session highs session lows. What else? Previous day highs, which is your daily range high, your daily range low, and what? Any time frame ka lows and highs, right? Suppose weekly range high, weekly range low, all of those things. These are, everything is the same thing, okay? It's just that the way we look at things, the way we ANVOG is this. ANVOG is here, ANVOG is here, which is simply your volume balance, right? Which is simply your volume balance. ये सारी चीज़ें, it will come in under internal liquidities, and all of these things will come into external liquidities. This is the simplest way to understand what we can denote at what, right? So now let's just understand the core concept, okay? The core concept of how the internal liquidity or the external liquidity plays out in the markets, all right? So if you understand the core logic, अगर हम core logic को define करें ना, तो it is just the sell program and a buy program, right? It is about the market pricing in a level where the price wants to go, and then where the price wants to go higher, right? So see, anytime the price wants to create an ERL, it will do what? Suppose we have an external liquidity like this. Suppose we have an external liquidity like this, right? So what is the price and the phases gonna look like? The phases will be a consolidation, which will be a normal consolidation. This is the first original consolidation that will occur in price, all right? And then there will be a distribution. So this is the first distribution that takes place, and then it will actually distribute where? The price will distribute towards your key level, which is this one, all right? The price comes in, taps your key level, gives you a sharp turn here, and then price accumulates again. It will give you a accumulation phase again. Again, there will be a distribution phase, another accumulation, and then the final distribution, right? This is a simple approach in which the price actually moves in the market, all right? So let's just understand how we can actually identify what is actually happening in a sequence, right? In a sequence, it means, suppose this is your key level, right? This is your key level. Key level ka matlab, it can be anything, all right? Suppose it is an ERL or it is an IRL. It can be any of this. The price wants to get into this, it can be any, all right? The first aspect is when the first consolidation happens, something like this. When the first consolidation happens, what is the main thing that is happening here? The first thing that is happening here is the consolidation will be very choppy, right? It will not actually manipulate, it will not actually not distribute. It will just create a range and just like with less liquidity of that sort. So that area is called as what? That area is just called as your original consolidation levels. This is your original consolidation, right? So when this consolidation breaks down lower, what does it create? It creates and leaves behind an ERL, right? It leaves behind an ERL. So when the after this consolidation, there will be a distribution, right? So this area is distribution. This area is distribution. This area is distribution. And then finally we manipulate towards the external range liquidity or an internal link. Suppose if there is a fair value gap, you can understand this as a fair value gap, or the price wants to come in and then go out. Or if this is an ARL, which is any swing lows, any swing highs, any previous day highs, previous day's lows, any of that sort. So every time whenever we want to understand that the price wants to reject off of this level and wants to go up higher, it will always obviously happen with a what? It will obviously happen with a sharp turn. What you mean by a sharp turn? A sharp turn is whenever a bearish fair value gap gets disrespected and new fair value gaps are created to create a narrative, right? So whenever this kind of fair value gaps are available, like this bearish fair value gaps, this bearish fair value gaps will be converted into an inverse fair value gap, I've taught you already. And then and then you will be seeing creation of new bullish fair value gaps. So this is how we build a narrative. It will be a very signature style of what? Sharp trends, or a V-shaped recovery, as people say. All right. This is how this will be the signature in which the price will move. There will be a inverse fair value gap, which is your bearish fair value gap being disrespected, and vice versa for bearish price action. All right. A bullish fair value gap will disrespect and create an inversion. All right. And then there is your change in state of delivery. Right. Your change in state of delivery is like this, and your order blocks. Order blocks will be at the very lower end. Change in state of delivery is where a series of down close candles will be converted into an a change in state of delivery, which is your market structure shift. So you don't actually need to understand that where the market breaks highs, lows. You just have to see what the price is giving you, what the narrative is being built. All right. So that's the thing. And now let's understand for the price to move anywhere else, right? For the price to move anywhere else, the expansion requires a swing formation, right? What do you actually mean by swing formation? So let me just write it down somewhere here that an expansion will always require a swing formation. What do I actually mean by this? A swing formation is what? A swing formation is any low being created by three candles, right? A candle 1, candle 2, and a candle 3, right? That's the motive. So how do we actually understand this? Maybe this is happening in the lower time frame, right? This is happening in the lower time frame. So if I just narrow it down and just show you with the way that how the candles print, it will be something like this. Suppose there is a bearish candle like this. There is a bearish candle like this. And then what it will create, suppose understand that this is happening in a lower time frame, right? And then we create and we have an external liquidity like this, right? This is the same thing, right? So what the price will do is the next candle will do what? The next candle will open, right? The price will open, it will manipulate, and then it will reverse, right? This is what we actually mean by a candle formation. So if we have this, right, suppose we have this low being available to us. एक मिनट. Suppose this was the original consolidation level, right? So when the price breakdown low, which is the price distributed low, it created a high as well, right? So this high is your ERL again, right? So when the price comes and takes down this low, it will do what? It will create, the price will open, it will create a low, right? And then it will expand higher, something like this, right? It will expand, creating a wick. creating a wick like this. And then what is the next move here? The next move will be a consolidation level where the price will not actually move much, but it will just consolidate. The price will do something like this. And then your final distribution happens. This is your final distribution level, right? So here what is happening? Dekho, what do I mean by this? ये जो expansion है, this expansion was due to what? It happened because of a swing formation. How is the swing formation happening here? So inside an ERL we have three kind of formation, which is we have creating lows. So this is what? This is your candle 2, right? The price took the low, created an engulfing bar, and then closed inside, right? And then it gave a reason for this to happen. Suppose, see, if I show you in the last week's chart in Nasdaq, it did exactly the same thing. See, the price created a low, closed engulfing, consolidated, and then expanded higher, isn't it? So this is how it is. It is the same thing, nothing different, right? So here, so this candle 2 formation may there will be always a liquidity hunt, right? It will always be a liquidity hunt in a lower time frame, and then this is where your sharp turn happens. Okay, this is where your sharp turn happens, and this is when you actually figure out that the price will try to distribute higher. And then if you want to take positions here, this will be a very low risk position, right? Because this is a very early phase in the market. This is where the true reversal happens, right? This is where the true reversal happens. So this area you can just understand via a motive that the price wants to reverse, right? This is where your true reversal happens, all right? And then you do what? Again, you reaccumulate the price. This is your reaccumulation phase. This is your accumulation phase, and then finally it hits with a distribution phase, right? So this is your final distribution towards your external range liquidity, which means it will distribute towards your external range, your original drawn liquidity, or you can just say it as your what? Your ERL or bias or anything as such. So this is what a normal ERL to IRL expansion looks like, right? So this is what is happening in a lower time frame, and this is what is happening in your higher time frames, right? And there are different variants of this. ERL or IRL के भी different variants होते हैं. Suppose see, like if we talk about let me just copy this. देखो जब भी ना, whenever there is an expansion or a consolidation, right? Whenever there is a consolidation, so what the price does is it will do what? It will expand higher, isn't it? It will expand higher, such as similar to this, like something like this. When the price is expanding higher like this, it is creating what? What is it creating? It is creating fair value gaps, isn't it? It is creating fair value gaps in between, right? So this fair value gap is what? This fair value gap is your internal range liquidity, isn't it? This is your internal range liquidity. So after this range, the price does what? The price reverses, right? It will cause what? It will cause retracements, isn't it? Because the price cannot just go higher and higher and higher. It needs a fair value gap area, right? Which is a fair valuation of any price leg. If the price wants to come in discount, the price wants to go higher, right? So when the price does, it goes up higher and it creates this. This is what I'm talking about, right? So suppose when the price went up higher, it expanded, right? This is the expansion phase, isn't it? So when the price expanded higher, we have a narrative where the price did what? We have an internal range liquidity, right? So we have a fair value gap here. So when the price went up higher, it left what? It left an external range liquidity on top, right? It left an external range liquidity here. So this is your retracement phase. So this is what your retracement phase looks like. And this area is what? This area is this variant, this version of IRL to ERL is just what? It's IRL goes to ERL, right? That's the thing here. This is what is which is happening. So which is in the first phase, what is happening? The first phase is your expansion phase. The first phase is your expansion phase, then comes your retracement, right? Then comes your retracement, and then again we have what? Again we have an expansion phase here, which is the price expands from an internal liquidity to your external liquidity. This is what it is. First will be expansion, then retracement, and then we have your expansion phase. It moves like this. This is the normal way to understand it. Whenever the price consolidates, it expands, leaving behind an internal range liquidity. The retracement happens, taps the liquidity, and then goes up higher to take out the ERL which was left behind, right? And then again we have what? We have ERL to IRL. Suppose convert the scale. यहाँ पे the thing that is happening is this is what it will do, which is this is your normal way to understand your ERL to IRL, right? So ERL to IRL में क्या होगा? So when the price distributes lower or any of that sort, the price creates an external liquidity, right? The price creates an external liquidity. See, when the expansion happens, or this is for the bearish reason, it will create an internal range liquidity. The price fails to take out the internal range liquidity, comes down, takes the ERL first, and then goes back up and to take what? Your internal liquidity, right? So this is your ERL to IRL, which is your expansion and then your retracement, which is जो मैंने पहले दिखाया था ना, उसका सेम थिंग ही है, बट a different variant, which is your ERL gets taken out first, and then from your ERL goes back to your internal liquidity. So in this case, the first thing that happens is what? Your expansion. Your expansion will happen first, and then the thing that happens next is your retracement. This is what it happens. And then you have another scene wherein the price just does a simple thing, which is it fails to create an internal liquidity. It fails to create an internal liquidity here like this, right? Leaving behind an ERL. Leaving behind an ERL. So when you don't have an internal liquidity in between, the price will do a simple thing, which is the price will tap out your external range liquidity and then go back up to take your like this. This phase is known as what? This is your ERL to ERL expansion. So ERL to ERL expansion is what? The first is just expansion going forward from expansion. It is just creating an ERL, coming back, taking down the ERL again, and going back up to take out the ERL. This is your version of ERL to ERL, right? पहला था internal to external, then it was external to internal, and then there is external to external. There is no internal liquidity involved. All right. So now let's just understand that what you actually mean by reversal signatures, like I told you here. कहाँ गया? Like I told you this. This is your sharp turn, isn't it? This is what you actually mean by sharp turn, right? So how does a true reversal happens? A true reversal will always happen when there is a displacement, right? How do you actually understand a displacement? Displacement is always occurred via an inversion fair value gap, creating new fair value gaps, creating a change of delivery, something like that. Something, how do I just show you to the charts. Something like this. See, the price came in, we have what? In 4 hour, we have this fair value gap, isn't it? We have this fair value gap. So the price is doing what? A simple way of distributing the markets. We have a change state delivery and the price is just distributing, right? That's the thing. This is it, right? यहाँ पे distribution, यहाँ पे क्या हुआ है? What is actually happening here? The price is displacing aggressively higher, right? Creating fair value gaps, creating changes to delivery, and it is going from an ERL to ERL, right? ऊपर हमारा कोई भी any sort of liquidity which is available, all of those things, right? In this case, what is happening? I'll just write it down for you. In this case, it is displacing, right? Creating a displacement, which is creating FVGs, creating order blocks, or creating change in state of delivery, right? This is the true nature of a true reversal here. So reversal always happens in this way. This is what it is known as reversal. And when I talk about retracements में क्या होता है देखो. So see, when the price distributes lower, right? The price is distributing lower aggressively, isn't it? What is this phase known as? This phase. ये जो हमारा phase है, this is your retracement, right? Why is it a retracement? Because see, why this area is known as retracement? Because when the price is going down lower, distributing lower, it is creating fair value gaps, isn't it? It is creating some sort of fair value gaps. It is creating some sort of fair value gaps like this, right? So that the price can distribute lower from this internal liquidity. So where we have this, right? What is this? This is your external liquidity which is left behind, right? So this was your retracement phase going up higher, right? This was a retracement phase when it went up higher. So in this phase, the price is not choppy. इतना chop नहीं करेगा, which means it will not create a failure swing. Failure swing का मतलब क्या होता है? It will not create SMTs, right? It will not create any SMT or it will not do any sort of things. It will just retrace higher to a discount level and then it will push down lower, something like this, right? That is happening here. This is your retracement phase. This is what your retracement is all about. The price is distributing, created an external liquidity, it retraced higher towards your internal liquidity which is available, and then to go and move where? To the original move that was available, right? This was your original bias, right? So this is what your retracement is known as. So retracement में क्या होता है? Retracement is not choppy. Retracement is not choppy. It will not create SMTs or any sort of failure swings. right? It will not create any sort of failure swings. This is what it is, all right? And when we talk about consolidation levels, what is consolidation? Any sort of things where you see a consolidation level? See, you see this area before the move down lower, we have what? We have a perfect area in which the price consolidated, right? This is your consolidation level. See, the price is neither going up, neither going down, neither it is manipulating, neither it is distributing, nothing. It is doing nothing, right? It is just consolidating like this, right? So this is the area where your consolidation happens before your distribution. This is your area C. So यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? What is happening? It is creating what? It is creating a range. It is neither not distributing. It is neither distributing nor or manipulating, right? It is neither. It is just creating a range, neither distributing nor manipulating. These are the things of what? Reversal signatures, right? यही होता है हमेशा. So, can you correlate something like this? Yeah. So this consolidation is what? This is the normal consolidation level here, right? Creating an external liquidity. ऊपर एक ERL इसने form किया, right? And then it distributed. When the price distributed, it created a fair value gap, right? And when it came down lower, so see, देखो. If I go to weekly chart, or if I go to a daily chart, what do you see? The price comes and taps some sort of liquidity, right? This one, right? And then it took out what? This internal liquidity is still being respected, right? Price went in, created an external liquidity, went up higher, created an external liquidity, went up, retraced, created all of these retracements are caused due to this, right? All of these things. So now let's understand that ये जो true reversal है ना, whenever we talk about this true reversal natures, right? When we talk about this true reversal natures, why does this happens and how does this happen, right? Which is देख यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? This is what? So let's understand a candle 2 reversal, right? Candle 2 reversal मैंने पहले भी explain किया है शायद, but this is what it is, right? Like candle 2 reverse. This is the candle 2 reversal, right? Candle 2 reversal में क्या होता है? It will create a swing high, it will create a swing low, right? And then what is the filter here? सबसे अच्छा filter क्या होता है? To understand that the price has created a swing point, that the price will have a large wick, right? The wick size is important to understand here. So if you see a candle 2, which was this, it opened, it went up higher, took out the high and closed inside, right? And if you see the wick size being very large, right? So this is your filter, right? To understand that the prices actually created a swing point, and then the price will distribute lower, right? It will distribute lower. So see, यहाँ पे, so if I ask you some questions that why do you think if the price wants to go down lower, right? अगर price नीचे जाना है, why did it stop here? Why did it stop here? Why didn't it went aggressively lower? Huh? What is the reason? Because देखो, every candle has its own time frame, right? Every candle has its own time limit, right? Right? It has a less time to close. Suppose this is a 1 hour chart and the price went up higher and closed here, right? So it doesn't have enough time for the price to push down lower. So when this candle closed, the third candle which was available, that is when the price expanded, right? This is the wick size is your price filter, right? The wick size is your price filter, and less time to close is what? Is your time filter. What is the time filter? How do you actually understand a time filter? Suppose एक 1 hour का candle, it will close in 60 minutes, right? So in 60 minutes it has some sort of things only. बहुत कम time होता है to actually go up higher and then close and all of these things. एक साथ distribute करने, everything will not happen in a single time, right? It will not happen in a single time. So what we can do is we can just predict that this is a swing formation. This is what? This is a bearish swing formation, right? This is your bearish. This is your bearish swing formation. So for bearish swing formation, the first thing that we need to understand is the wick size, which is your price filter. If we have large wicks, we understand that the price is doing what? The price is creating a bearish swing formation, right? And then it has to have less time to close this candle, right? And then how we will actually trade the markets? If you want to trade this candle, or if you want to trade this sequence, this is where your sharp turn happens. This is where your sharp turn happens, right? And then you will actually trade. This is where your bias shifts, and then you trade the C3 reversal. You trade this. Right? Why do you trade the C3 reversal? Because this is what is your distribution phase. This is what your distribution phase is, right? So by this, what do we understand? How do you understand a C3 reversal? क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पे? The price is creating what? A large wicks, creating a swing high, the body closes below, creating an engulfing bar, and then the third candle is what? The third candle is doing what? The third candle is expanding lower, right? Expanding lower, which means we can either trade, if we are comfortable, we can trade this candle too by what? By using the sharp turn, or what we can do is we can trade the candle 3 distribution, right? We can use this sharp turn as our, suppose यहाँ पे if we have any inversion or anything as such, we can use that to trade this, right? The candle 3 formation. This is the same thing, and vice versa for a bullish time frame. ये जो हुआ है ना, यहाँ पे भी होगा, bullish में भी. It is the same thing, right? Did you understand everything now? I mean, जहाँ तक मैंने अभी तक बोला है, I mean, do you have any doubts? If you have some sort of doubts, let me know. ये देख, see, यहाँ पर just check. मैंने तुझे बताया था ना कि like normal way में how do we understand this? पहला चीज़ क्या था? रिकॉर्ड हो रहा है सब. पहला क्या था? कैंडल 2 रिवर्सल, राइट? कैंडल 2 रिवर्स होगा, कोई भी एक्सटर्नल लिक्विडिटी लेगा और एनी सॉर्ट ऑफ इंटरनल लिक्विडिटी, राइट? इट विल टेक दैट की लेवल फर्स्ट, राइट? एंड देन व्हाट इज द प्राइस फिल्टर हेयर? द पहला विक साइज इज योर प्राइस फिल्टर, राइट? विक साइज मतलब whenever you see a candle 2 reverse, right, there will be a very large wick, right? You'll see a large wick and your candle 1 ka closure, it will take the high and it will close below the candle 1. Do you know this now? What is the next thing? The next thing is time filter. What is the time filter? The candle 2 will have less time to close, right? And then the candle 3 will open and then distribute, isn't it? This is for bearish price action. Same thing is for bullish. ये जो मैंने अभी drawing किया ना, it's the same thing. See, यहाँ पे देख. This is your higher time frame, isn't it? This is your higher time frame chart. Higher time frame chart, which is 1 hour, right? And this one is your lower time frame chart, which is your 5 minutes, right? This is your 5 minute lower time frame. So you see this, the price is inside what? The price is inside this fair value gap, isn't it? A bullish fair value gap. It created what? The price came in, tapped this internal liquidity and created this external liquidity, right? This one. So in this case, what is happening? What do you think? If you forget about this internal liquidity, just focus on this range. What is happening here? The price is going from ERL, right? The price is going from an ERL to an ERL, right? Our third variant that we talked about, right? Did we talk about or not? We talked about the third variant, which means we don't have a fair value gap inside in the higher time frame, right? It is just creating a high an ERL. We have a drawn liquidity on top, this one, right? And then what is the price doing? This is your candle 1, this one, right? This is your candle 1. So this is the opening price of the candle 1. So candle 1 price opened here, the price opened here, right? This is the open. This is your opening price. This is your opening price, right? The price opened, came down lower, created a low, right? This one went up higher, took this internal liquidity, ये वाले bearish fair value gap को respect किया, the price came down lower, right? The price came down lower to do what? After this candle 3 opened, right? This is your candle 2. I mean, this is the candle 2, right? The candle 2 opened here, isn't it? What does the price did? The price opened here. See, this is the opening price, right? This is the opening price. The price came down lower, took the low of candle 1, plus it took what? Your external liquidity, isn't it? Went up higher. यहाँ पे we have what? We have your change in state of delivery here, right? This is your change in state of delivery, right? CISD. This is your CISD. This is your change in state of delivery. So what do you think it is happening here in the candle 2? Candle 2 में क्या हो रहा है? What is happening? Price engulf कर रही है, and it is creating a sharp turn, isn't it? And how do you understand a sharp turn? It will create a change in state of delivery. It will inverse bearish price action, right? And it will create what? It will start creating new bullish price fair value gaps. And this is giving you what? ये तुझे क्या दे रहा है? What is it giving you? It is giving you a context, isn't it? context about your narrative. Your narrative is what? Your narrative is bullish. How do you come into conclusion? By all of this, isn't it? Candle 1, candle 2, candle 3, all of this, right? And then if I talked about the price filter, isn't it? Price filter कैसे understand करेंगे? Wick size के साथ, right? So इसमें wick size देख, candle 2 में wick size है. Do you see a large wick? You do, right? And what is the time filter? Time filter is less time to close, isn't it? So अगर कोई प्राइस को यहाँ पर डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करना है, यहाँ पर डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर रहा है, तो ये प्राइस अकेला तो नहीं कर पाएगा ना. इट हैज़ टू क्लोज समवेयर. यहाँ पे प्राइस ने यहाँ पे क्या किया? प्राइस ने ये जो कैंडल 2 है ना, यहाँ पे क्लोज किया. दिस वन, दिस इज द क्लोजिंग प्राइस, राइट? दिस इज द क्लोजिंग प्राइस. Price came down lower, and this is what? This is your continuation entry. This is your continuation entry, which means you are trading what? You're trading a candle 3 reverse, right? You're trading the candle 3 reversal, right? What you can do is you can either place yourself at this fair value gap, right? You can place yourself at this fair value gap, or you can wait. Why you can wait? You can wait for the price to tap this fair value gap and reject higher, creating this change in state of delivery. This is your change state delivery, right? And do what? Either you can use this change in state of delivery as your entry, or what you can do, you can see, just because this is the live market, everything will not be according to what I teach. Theory के हिसाब से direct exactly तो नहीं होगा, लेकिन it will do the same phenomena, right? This is the same phenomena that we teach, right? This change in state delivery के साथ enter करना है, या फिर you can use this fair value gap to enter and use your protected lows. What is your protected lows? Your protected low is this one, but you can use the body closures, no problem in that. And then target your external range liquidity, which is available for you, or you can target 1:1, right? Or your normal draw on liquidity, or 1:2, whatever the fuck you want. You can do that. You understand? यहाँ पे क्या क्या हो रहा है देखो. Do you see a sequence or not? Everything I taught you here. Everything I taught you here. You have the price filter, which means the wick size. It will always have a large wick. It will tap an external range liquidity or an internal range liquidity. It will close below. It will engulf this bar and sweep this. It will have less time to close. And then how will you trade this one? Distribution. And always remember that your candle 3 reversal का जो candle होगा ना, उसका filter क्या है? What will be the filter here? The wick will be what? What will the wick be? Small, right? The wick will be very small, like this. Something here, which is happening. Do you see a very small wick? This is your candle 3. So this is your filter, that you understand that candle 3 is going to expand. And where it will expand? It will expand towards your external range liquidity, which is this one, right? Is it clear? Very clear now?
Yes. But मैं सोच रहा हूँ कि wick size तो हम candle 3 close होने के बाद ही predict कर पाएंगे.
ऑर्डर फ्लो से हम फिगर आउट करेंगे ना उसको. तो
और C2 पे
देख, जो तू बोल रहा है, आई एम अंडरस्टैंडिंग दैट अगर कैंडल 3 का विक साइज को हम प्रेडिक्ट करने की कोशिश करेंगे, तो हाउ वुड यू अंडरस्टैंड दैट इसका ये तो और डीप रिट्रेसमेंट भी हो सकता है, राइट? ये बोलना चाह रहा है ना कि ये प्राइस यहाँ पे इतना डिस्ट्रीब्यूट हो सक रहा है. सो दैट्स व्हाई आई सेड, हम तो यहाँ पे अगर हम प्रिडिक्ट करना, अगर इफ वी आर प्रिडिक्टिंग द कैंडल 3, राइट? सो व्हाट इज योर प्रिडिक्शन? योर प्रिडिक्शन इज दिस फर्स्ट कैंडल. जब प्राइस ओपन हो रहा है, when the price opened, when the candle 3 opened, right? When the candle 3 opened, we don't know that the price will deep retrace or just it will fly. तो हम यहाँ पे एंटर कर रहे हैं ना, this will be my entry here. अगर मेरे को प्रिडिक्ट करना होता तो, you understand? लेकिन मैंने ऑलरेडी कैसे प्रिडिक्ट किया यहाँ पे, बिकॉज द प्राइस opened, it came in and tapped a bullish fair value gap, right? It tapped this bullish fair value gap. Did I enter here directly after this candle close? No, right? I didn't close. I didn't enter the markets. I waited for what? I waited for two things. I waited for an order flow shift. What is the order flow shift here? The order flow shift is your change in share delivery and this fair value gap. And this is what? This phenomena is what? Is your sharp turn, isn't it? यहाँ पे भी शार्प टर्न हो रहा है, यहाँ पे भी शार्प टर्न हो रहा है. डिड आई प्रिडिक्ट दैट कैंडल, इसका कैंडल्स, मैंने यहाँ पे कुछ भी फ्यूचर प्रोडिक्शन किया क्या? आई डिडंट डू एनी फ्यूचर प्रोडिक्शन. आई डिडंट टेक अ रिस्क एंट्री हियर. आई कैन डू दैट, राइट? आई कैन डू दैट एज वेल. बट व्हाट डिड आई वेट? आई वेटेड फॉर दिस चेंज इन शेयर डिलीवरी एंड देन दिस फेयर वैल्यू गैप. डज इट मेक सेंस? आई एम नॉट प्रिडिक्टिंग. इसमें मेरे को ये व्हाट इफ नहीं करना है कि इसका कैंडल बड़ा होगा या फिर छोटा होगा. आई नो दैट द प्राइस हैज रिवर्स ऑलरेडी हियर, राइट? एंड द प्राइस हैज टू डिस्ट्रीब्यूट हायर ऑन टू टेक आउट दिस हाई, isn't it? So what am I doing here? I am just trying to figure out a way to enter the markets. I can enter either here, or what I can do is I can either directly here as well. When this change state delivery was formed and this inversion was occurred, I can do a direct entry here. यहाँ पे मैं डायरेक्ट एंट्री इसका स्टॉप लॉस लेके आई कैन टारगेट दिस, और आई कैन टारगेट 1:1 or whatever the fuck I want. I can do that as well. But what am I doing? I'm waiting for a sequence which is this. Are you understanding how the sequence is playing? You understand how the candle 1 opened, it created a low, candle 2 opened, swept the low, manipulated lower, distributed higher, changes to delivery, sharp turn, all of this happened. And then you are getting involved in what? In the candle 3 formation, only on top somewhere here. Does it make sense? मैंने तेरे को यहाँ पे बताया था ना, दिस वन आई टॉक्ड अबाउट दिस. थ्रू रिवर्सल में क्या है? थ्रू रिवर्सल्स आर ऑलवेज व्हाट? low risk, and it is always a low risk entries, you understand? And this one is your high risk entry, right? Because you know on this, if the price can reverse, it will reverse. But this one is a very, अगर प्राइस रिट्रेस करके इन्वर्जन को टैप करता है, ऑब्वियसली टेक अ ट्रेड इन इन्वर्जन और एनी स्टेट ऑफ डिलीवरी, राइट? लेकिन यहाँ पे प्राइस एंटर नहीं किया, तो व्हाट यू कैन डू? यू कैन वेट. नो नीड टू चेज द प्राइस. डायरेक्ट एंट्री लेने की तुझे का ज़रूरत है तो लो, अगर नहीं लेना है तो नो मत लो, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. बट what you can also do is wait for the candle 3 to open, manipulate, create a distribution, create a displacement, and then get yourself involved in the trade. Does it make sense? Are we predicting the small wick? We are not. We are playing on top of what is actually happening in the markets, right? So let's close this. हो गया आज के लिए.